shown to anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
You have your consent?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about you.
So I'm a foreign student in London, doing my third year of my BA in fine art painting, and I've been in London for 4 years now. I'm from Spain. I would say that's like them overall.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the things you like.
So obviously I like painting. I enjoy cooking. I like, I don't know, going to gigs and music venues. I like having coffees. Nothing too extreme, like chill things.
Okay. Can you tell me about your last trip?
My last trip was to Rome, and it was 2 months ago now.
Okay.
And it was like really quick. We got the tickets like 3 days in advance, and we just stayed there for like 3 days,
Okay.
like
So
super express.
why did you decide to go to Rome?
We needed to go see a friend who used to live in London and doesn't anymore.
Okay.
So keep in touch with her and all that.
Okay. So is there any other trip that you can recall that you've done in the past year?
Yeah, well, the past year I've traveled like quite a lot. I went to Germany for half a month. That was extremely planned. Every day of the trip was
Okay.
so complete different thing to the Rome one. I went to Mallorca. That was also unplanned.
Okay.
I just got the tickets and went for a weekend.
Okay.
Basel.
Okay.
I didn't plan that. My mother did,
Okay.
and it was the same one weekend. And Barcelona.
Nice. So you've traveled quite a lot.
Yeah, it's been a
So
good
you
year.
enjoy traveling.
Yeah.
Do you what does it mean for you to be a traveler?
Well, mainly to explore somewhere different that you haven't seen or that you have seen, but just like, I don't know, get out of your comfort zone,
Okay.
get out there.
Tell me a bit about that. What does that mean, getting out of a comfort zone?
So you don't know where the supermarket is going to be, you don't know where to take the bus, you gotta like find out those little things to make your life during 3 days and like kind of like interiorize them very quickly.
So how do you usually, when you go traveling, how do you manage to like know about these things and like find out?
Well, thank God, like now we live in 2016. There are like so many apps for like every different thing. So for like transport, City Mapper for big cities, or like Google Transport is, or Google, yeah, whatever. That's for the traveling. For the food, you go into blogs and you go on Instagram maybe,
Okay.
like different apps, seeing what people post about them. Just like yeah.
Okay. So do you have a strong view on the world? Any strong view that you've got?
A strong view in what sense?
It can be anything. Anything that you feel that you strongly believe on, and that's going well or going bad on the world.
Okay, travel wise, like when it comes to in general.
In general, something about you, a strong view that you have.
Okay, travel wise, which is like a strong view that I have, people is like a normal, almost like imposed thing that you have to travel to open your mind. You gotta go to certain places, see what it is, get involved, blah blah blah. And what I've noticed is like, well, I've been mainly traveling around Europe, but everything is the same. There is not that big of a difference. So how much can it like enrich me if the thing that I'm going to see in this country is fairly similar to the thing that I'm used to in my native country?
Okay. So does that mean that when you travel, you try to do it in a different way, apart, like away from that, what you've just said? Like, do you think there's a way of avoiding that sort of like getting always the same, or like not enriching yourself?
Yes and no. I mean, it's kind of nice to go somewhere miles away and it's kind of like home. You don't have like maybe the typical food that you will get in your house, but like, it's fairly similar. So it's not that I'm against it. I like it. I just don't think it's such a different experience to go to countries.
Okay.
It's kind of the same, just with a different environment and
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, is there any experience that you remember when you've gone traveling, like the best experience you've had?
The
It
best
can be
experience.
Any experience that you've had while you were traveling abroad.
well, I remember before establishing myself in London, I came to London for like a month once to do this like sword painting course. I have been before, but like as a proper tourist, kind of like Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, like the boring stuff about London. So I came here on my own, and you know, you're alone during these like steps of whatever building, having a cigarette, and someone comes talk to you, and we ended up like going for beers and having the best chat. I don't know, it was like really nice. It felt like I was starting to be like a part of this place.
Okay. So, you think that when you travel, the unexpected things are really valuable to you?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
There's like nice interactions that you cannot plan. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go to this restaurant that you can plan, but I'm gonna go to this restaurant and maybe the waiter is going to be like also foreign and we're gonna have a talk, you know, those kind of things.
Nice. Is there any place that you've gone that you've really loved?
Um, I mean, you kind of love all of them in a different way,
Okay.
but I guess I did enjoy quite a bit Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
It felt really comfortable, it felt really familiar. Of course, I'm from Spain, so it's gonna be similar language, but there was something, it was like a mix in between Madrid and London, and I wasn't expecting that at all. Like really
Okay.
developed mentality towards the arts and like alternative, which is really weird in Spain. Like I really wasn't expecting that. That was nice.
Nice. Okay. So, for you, what's the most interesting thing about a culture in general?
How the people feel so, their people of that culture feel so driven to it, like how they live it individually,
Okay.
like how passionate someone from a certain culture can be about something that for me is completely trivial. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Can you put an example of that?
Yeah, like English people, because like it's close to us. So tea will be a very English thing. It's like from their culture and how they feel about it, how they make like the biggest thing around it. It becomes like almost a social event, and to be able to make it in their own proper way, it's like the biggest achievement. It's just water, and but it's very nice how
Nice. So,
strongly they feel about it.
yeah, I can relate to that. Like, and especially in London, there's so many people that's like about their culture, like going to a park to have a beer is like these sort of like routines that they've got. And
Yeah.
so why do you think this is really interesting to you?
It's a hard question. I don't know. It's new, and it is interesting because you have these stereotypes. Oh, English people drink tea, and you see them from an outside perspective. And then once you come here, you actually experience them, and you start understanding why the stereotype is there and why they feel so strong about it. And it's like,
Okay.
okay, I can see that. And I don't know. As soon as I feel that I understand properly why, I feel a bit more like from here. Like, yeah, more accepted.
Interesting. So I'm gonna show you few pictures,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna ask you if you were going on a trip, which objects do you think you would definitely bring? And it's these three
Okay.
pictures.
The sketchbook. 3 objects.
Yeah.
The sketchbook.
Sorry, two objects.
Only 2. Okay.
Gets a bit harder.
Uh-huh. I I guess I wouldn't need the phone that much if I can get a good if there's a good transport in there, you know. So maybe the phone, at the end of the day, the phone you just use it to keep communicated with the people that aren't in that place.
Okay.
And if I'm exploring the place, that's not such an important part.
Okay.
So when I go to places, what I want is to record everything I see. So maybe the sketchbook and the camera, I will say.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Why did you pick those subjects
So
on relation to the other ones?
yeah, I mean clothes. Same thing. Like when we dress, it's like to be accepted by the people we already know. I don't have such a strong. I don't know how to put this in English. I don't have such strong concern about my physical appearance when the people don't know me. So if I just take whatever clothes I have with me, that's like more than enough. The phone is the same. I don't mind being a bit, how do you say, like not reachable. So, so yeah, I wouldn't need the phone. The guides, at the end of the day, you do all that getting of the knowledge previously. You never do it there, so why would I? The computer, same as the phone. I don't need it. And then the sketchbook, I get it because some things. Well, the camera is to capture things, to get a record of where I've been, what has interested me, things that I know maybe I will forget about, or like tiny details. And the sketchbook is to record things that I cannot record with a camera, such as like, I don't know, words that come to my mind or a conversation that I hear in the underground that I like want to remember. So yeah, all the non-visual.
Okay. And what is there anything in particular that you do with these memories and like everything you record after the trip, or like do you like, or yeah?
Yeah, most of the time I record it for my work, for paintings, or sculptures, or just as images themselves.
Okay. Have you feel like when you've gone to a trip, have you ever feel that it's changed you?
Not so much in the moment, but after maybe.
Okay.
So it's never when I'm there or a few days after I come. It's like it hits me years after. Like,
Okay. And how would you say it changes you? Like,
so when you think about you in relation to the world, if before traveling it would be you in a smaller circle, and then you see yourself in a bigger circle because you've actually seen it. It's not only like the idea, yeah, I know the universe is huge, but where I see myself is in those places.
okay.
So the more I travel, the more real that actual circle becomes.
Okay. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna switch the topic slightly, and we're gonna talk about brand and advertising sort of relations. So, could you tell me the last thing you've seen online that you remember?
Today,
Yeah, something that you remember that you've seen online.
the web page for art school.
Okay. Why? Why do you think you? Is there like something in that website that's like made an impression on you?
In the website itself, yeah, it wasn't that well organized as I was expecting. It was a
Okay.
bit hard to find the information that I was looking for.
Okay.
I had to scroll down, like, where is it?
So is that something that you find sometimes that it's annoying when?
So many times.
Okay.
And you don't expect it. You expect a very clear, nowadays, and there is still like some web pages that are a bit like rougher to get into.
Okay.
It's really annoying.
Mm, have you ever shared or created content for a brand? When some company does a campaign, or like some brand does a campaign, or like ask people to share content with them. Have you ever done that?
Not that I can recall, maybe for a contest, typical thing, if you share this, you have the possibility to win a trip to whatever, But
Okay.
I cannot recall.
So do you think like the only reason why you would do it is for like a contest?
To get a personal, something out of it.
To get something out of it.
Yeah.
Like monetary reward or like
Anything. Or
anything?
like a goodie.
Okay. But there's lots of people that does it nowadays. So why do you think people do it?
I don't know, because it gives you a bigger platform. If you share it into whatever web page, so more people are gonna see your Instagram picture instead of getting just like 5 likes.
Okay. What would make you help someone to create something?
In what sense?
In general, why would you decide to help someone creating something?
If I think I can put something into the question, like add something to that creation.
Okay. Can you give me like an example?
So obviously I cannot help anyone if it's about Photoshop, because I have no idea, so how am I gonna even help? But if it's something related to like do something manual or whatever, yeah, that's...
Okay. So in terms of like a bigger project, so not something like, not only like a little job, in terms of like, has someone like...
No.
In terms of like a bigger project. 1 second, I'm just gonna double check. I painted you as well. I'm sorry. Yeah, in terms of like a bigger project, of like a bigger scale.
Only if it will benefit me in a way. If I
Okay.
can put it in the CV or something, if not.
Okay. Okay. What does travel planning mean to you?
Stress.
Okay.
No, if I do it on my own, it's actually fine. Like, if I'm traveling with people, stress, but if I'm doing it on my own, I kind of like it, like seeing, going through those web pages and like guides and blah blah. So
Do you think you, or how do you think you can learn about like different cultures and countries before being there?
internet, mostly.
Okay. How do you think you could learn more about those places?
Maybe actually reading history books about the place
Okay.
instead of just...
Is that something that you enjoy?
Yes, I'm meant to, but maybe not so much.
Okay. Okay. So let's say that you have some time off, in like, let's say the next week, and you're planning on doing some travel, like some trip somewhere, but you don't know where. So can you show me how you would plan it, or how you would start, like with a physical action, like as if we are in the situation?
Totally.
Okay.
Map of Europe.
Okay.
That's very fancy.
Okay, and how would you decide, do you think, like the location? Just like,
If the name brings anything to me, if it's like a city that I've never heard of, I will... There's a big possibility that I won't go.
okay,
But if it's something like, oh, Paris, oh, that sounds appealing.
okay. So, I have some other images,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like you to pick any of them, or all of them, or whichever. Something that, like, when you see them, what would be the best online experience for you?
What do you mean?
Like when you are surfing on the internet in general, for whichever purpose, is there like some of those images that make you relate to that, or like what does it mean for you to
Maybe the
go on
video one?
internet? Okay.
Not the group one. Not the man with the suit. Not the groupal one either, with the hands. That, no. The light bulb.
Okay. It's not like, as I said, there's no right or wrong.
Okay.
So like, you know, as so for example, so I explain a bit more. Yeah. Light bulb can be like, you know, creativity, collaboration. So it's those sort of like things that these images represent.
Okay. So yeah, the light bulb, the book, the video, and that will be it.
Okay. Why do you think those objects?
It's what I would be more attracted to. I wouldn't like to go on like groups of like, I don't know, tour groups. Those things really put me off.
Okay. Okay. So, how would your ideal trip be?
Free.
Okay.
Um, for more than 3 days, like a week or 10 days. With internet on me, so I can go to places quicker. Yep, that would be quite ideal.
Okay. Do you think like if you were going on a trip and didn't have access to any device, including a camera, would that how would that feel?
Well, the lack of a camera sometimes like really bad. You know, you really want to capture something, and it's like, "Grr." But I guess liberating, no, in a way,
Sorry?
liberating.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. Every time you travel, you are kind of like supposed. I know it's like you don't have to, but like I don't know, to upload some nice images to Facebook and to Instagram. Like fuck that. Sorry.